Here's Karen Ehart. Karen does, as I'm sure you're familiar with, the fantastic torso sculptures as well as a number of other pieces that she fuses and slumps. And Karen, could you tell us a little bit about where you're from, what your history is with glass, how you started in it?
Okay, well, I'm originally from Oregon. And I took a stained glass class in the early 80s, and as soon as I put a glass cutter in my hand, that was it for me. I just fell in love and was ruined for anything else, and so that's what I do. And
When did you start working with the hot glass?
well, in the glass studio, somebody traded us a kiln for our oven in our kitchen, so I didn't cook anymore. I just I just made glass in a kiln and had a lot of fun with it, a lot more fun than cooking was for me. So I started playing around with different elements and taking scrap glass, stained glass, and as you know, that's not compatible. So
Right.
they would break. But I came up with some very interesting effects before they broke. And then I started working for a studio in Portland. I moved to Portland and I started working for a studio there. And they did so many different kinds of glass, including fusing. And I just sort of gravitated towards the fusing department, because it was very interesting to me. Fused glass is called that because it actually fuses on the molecular level. You take different pieces of glass, fuse them together, and they become one piece molecularly. So I call it fused glass. But what distinguishes my work, I think, a little bit is that not only do I fuse the glass flat, I take it in the second firing and slump it over a mold, making it more sculptural. So.
Okay, let's look at some of the glass here, because you use a lot of dichroic glass so
I do.
expertly. Most people just take the dichro and throw it in there, and however it comes out, they're, I guess, kind of happy with. But you use it in just a very engaging way.
Well, I think it's been described as a painterly style. I definitely really enjoy the surface design aspect of it. I think dichroic glass is a beautiful thing to use because it's a high-tech coating that is its opposite on the light spectrum, reflected as transmitted. So you can get some really interesting different effects depending on the light. This will change color and be its opposite when you pass light through it if it weren't on this color background. So you get a lot of different, you can play around with the dichroic glass a lot on the surface.
Now,
I like to work with petroglyphs also. So I have some of these sandblasted little petroglyphs, little rock etchings from different sites.
Oh, look at
Native
that.
American sites.
Look at that, folks. Now you can see
There's
it.
a petroglyph.
And on your torsos, you carve some of your own molds?
I do. I make the original mold out of sometimes out of ceramic. Just really depends on what the original is. So in some cases, with the skulls, I'll actually use a real cow skull or a buffalo skull and make a mold over it. But with the torsos, I'll make an original sculpture, and then I'll make a mold over top of that that's very thin that I can pull out, put in the kiln, and slump my glass over, and that's the slump part of it.
And this is your latest achievement.
Yes, that's cast glass and cast bronze, the lost wax method of casting, which is a complicated procedure, starting out with an original sculpture, and then you get a wax from that. You make a wax from that with a mold, and then take the wax and tool it, cut it wherever you want, for the bronze to be one piece and the glass to be another piece, the other part, laminate it together and put it on a base.
Okay. Well, you are really a remarkable artist.
Why, thank you.
Come up. Thanks very much, Karen.
You bet.